G'day there, Sean. Hope you're doing well in isolation. Just wanted to do this short video walkthrough to showcase some of the things which I think you're missing in terms of your social media accounts and how you might be able to use video in this day and age to reach a whole new set of eyes. Hopefully you find this valuable, and we'll see you, sir, on the other side.
Well, hello there, and welcome to your social media pages. Now, I've made this personalized video for you on the assumption that, one, you understand social media works, i.e. if you post content, then you know that you get engagement for you and your business, and then you grow your business from your online presence. I've also made the assumption that you want to grow your business. And number three, that you want to get to your business goals faster than traditional client acquisition methods. If those assumptions are correct, then this video is for you. I'm going to share with you three things. First one, what is missing from your LinkedIn and Facebook business profiles so they're optimized for growth. I'm going to share with you 4 people who use video well and get great engagement from their video work. And I'm going to also share with you the 4 different types of video content that you should be showcasing for you and your business. I hope that you find this valuable and you can apply it to your online world.
Mr. Sean Foster. So let's have a quick look at your LinkedIn profile. Now, admittedly, you're pretty good, but I can see a few things that potentially you could change in terms of your LinkedIn profile. Now, obviously, you don't have a Facebook page or a Facebook business page that I can at least find, so let's just stick to LinkedIn for the moment. Good to see that you've got a cover letter or a cover up here. I try and focus on one core outcome. So what is it that people get as a result of coming to see you? We can see that's what you do, but what is the outcome? You know, we look at the headline. Remember, LinkedIn is not a online CV anymore. We can see what you do, but what is the outcome that people get when they work with you? You know, the old Sam Ovens or James Kemp I help statement is really good in this space, where I help X get Y through Z. So, you know, you really want to utilize that in your heading. It's not about what you do, it's about what people get. In terms of your about section, really nicely done, actually. I can still see, though, that we need to incorporate a little bit of who Sean Foster is inside of this story. You know, yes, it's all about what you do and the outcome that they get, but we need to share a little bit around why Sean Foster is the guy to obviously deliver that. And that's where your about section needs to drive to that. And yes, you drive to a call to action, which is marvelous. In terms of your URL in finding people, you've got Business Coach Auckland as your URL, which I guess if you're searching under Business Coach Auckland, you will get that. Most people obviously have their name, and it'll be interesting to get your feedback as to why you've got Business Coach as opposed to your name. In terms of your activity, we can obviously see that you're reasonably active for a premium member. It looks like you've kind of gone to ground a little bit, and you obviously do some liking and engagement in terms of content on LinkedIn, and you've obviously doubled down on doing some articles. In terms of your posts, again, good to see there's a reasonable consistent there. I see that you're putting YouTube clips or YouTube links into your content. Remember that the LinkedIn algorithm doesn't want other people to go from LinkedIn to watch more content, so therefore your content's going to count against you in terms of your engagement. And if you've got 3,000 followers, you should be getting more engagement than 1 or 2 likes based on your content. Again, same situation here. It's a TED Talk. What you can do, and we're going to talk about the 4 different types of content that you can produce, and I can see that one of them is working very well for you. But again, you've obviously got a video here, which is bloody marvelous, Sean. But again, it's a YouTube clip, and that's where the LinkedIn algorithm is going to count against you. And we'll go into that just a moment. So we're going to give you the 4 different types of content, and then I'm going to give you 4 people who you probably know in the Auckland and New Zealand market, and one overseas, that do those 4 different types of content very, very well. So the first one is obviously education. That's how can you educate people around how you can help them deliver a result. And if we look at Glenn Marvin as an example, and look at his about section where he talks about story. He talks about telling his personal story, and that does lead to how he helps. But getting into his educational content, he's obviously at this time of the year, or this time with COVID-19, very much a focus on how coaches can help deliver content and help other people through this crisis. And I think there's a perfect opportunity for you to be doing educational content, my friend, that is consistently showing up in your feed. And Glenn has jumped onto his Thrive and Survive series, helping businesses, bringing experts to his channels, and he's got lots of channels, and using video to obviously drive that education, be it Zoom interviews or be it straight to camera, with a little bit of personal story as well. Here was April Fool's Day, and it's important to share elements of you in any of your content that you're going out. So education is number 1, and I think that's a great opportunity for you, Sean, to be doing some video content and breaking, addressing the pain, addressing the problem, and talking to that pain and problem, and that so well what people will be going through, and then breaking that down into a series of educational videos that can drive to a conversation offline. Number 2 is personal story. As we mentioned in your about section, really important to have a little bit of story, because we're hardwired for story. We obviously want to connect with people, and we connect through story. And I'm actually going to choose an American for this one, and it's going to be the lovely Shay Rowbottom. You've probably seen some of her content, and she is pretty amazing. What she's been, a LinkedIn creator, and helping people to helping founders and creators use video to drive engagement. She's got a fair number of followers, but she really uses story very, very well in order to connect with her audience. She uses humor particularly. And I really like this particular video that she shared here, where she talks about the death of a friend and how she uses that death to empower herself to take action every single day. And there's some pretty engaging stats in terms of what she's doing. And she consistently gets those high numbers. But, here's a simple way to obviously use humor to drive to a result. So personal story will work really well. You could use your client personal stories. You can obviously change their name, change their location, change their industry to protect the innocent, but having some personal stories that you can talk about and how you solve their particular problem will work really well. The next piece of content that you can use, and bear in mind you can use images, written or video, but video is going to get you so much more engagement, as we can show you, obviously, the people who are already doing that online. And the next piece is commentary. And probably the best person to do that one would be Ashley Church. He doesn't use video, but what he does do, and Ashley's been around the property game, he's a bit of a media commentator, and that's where he works really well. And in terms of his posts, most people, like what you've been doing, most people just share a link and think, oh, my audience will think this is really, will think that I'm really important if I share this link from Stuff. No. So here's what Ashley does. And he might share the link, but he offers his perspective. It's just not about the Stuff article. It's about your opinion, your commentary, your way, your story, your take on what that story is and how that would affect your audience. So I say to people, don't even put the link. Just say, hey, look, so Bauer did this article on the government and getting rid of their titles. And it was a good article, but here's my perspective, blah, 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 blah. And I think it's really important to tell that story, to give your opinion, so then you become a thought leader in your particular market. And people then can know, like, and trust you for the value that you provide. Again, Ashley does the same thing as you. He posts YouTube clips, which again counts against you in terms of your LinkedIn algorithm of sharing that content to other people. Remember, you can put the YouTube clip in the comments. So you can mention that, you'll see in the comments a particular thing from Tears for Fears, A Mad World, and then offer your video perspective on that particular video content. But try and put any external links not in the body of the post, but in the comments. And that way your content will be easily shared from the algorithm, or at least supported. But Ashley does a really good job at, picking up on media articles and then offering his perspective, which can generate some thought leadership. So we've covered off commentary, we've covered off education and personal story, and the last one we want to talk about is kudos posts. Now, Ryan the Lion Ashton, you would have seen his content around. He's a bit of an odd fellow, but what he does do really, really well is he supports other people with kudos posts, singing the praises of other people and doing interviews and bringing that content to his audience. And, there's always, obviously now in this day and age, it's Zoom interviews and being able to edit and package that. But he really sings the praises of other people. And that's why people know, like, and trust him, because he brings them value and brings them attention where they wouldn't normally jump on a video call and obviously do that. So kudos posts, sing the praises of other people, and you could do that for your clients, for your colleagues, for your partners, all the people that work in your business that don't necessarily get a shout out. But I think the two areas where you should really focus on potentially is the education and the commentary. There's so many media commentators out there, and you are opinionated. You are a business coach and a guiding light. And I feel that the commentary and educational content around video is going to work really well for you.
Well, Sean, hopefully you found that valuable. There's really is a once in a lifetime opportunity to use content to engage your audience, to build awareness and to educate them online. And we'd love to have a conversation with you. Feel free to click the button below. We can have a Zoom call and we can see where that takes you for doing social content in this day and age. You have a great day.